Welcome back to Voice of Africa. We're thrilled to have you with us today, and even more excited to share this powerful update straight from the heart of Burkina Faso. What you're about to hear isn't just news. It's a testament to resilience, sacrifice, and the rise of a new kind of soldier born in the dust and fire of modern Africa's security challenges. This is not only about military training, it's about national rebirth, identity, and the undying will of a people to defend their homeland. In a country confronting the complex realities of terrorism, instability, and geopolitical interference, 121 commandos have officially completed one of the toughest military training programs in Burkina Faso. They didn't just train, they transformed. These young men, officers, non-commissioned officers, and enlisted troops emerged from a grueling 6-week commando qualification course, forged in intensity, tested in sweat, and bound together by the shared purpose of national defense. Their journey began quietly on April 1st, 2024. But nothing about what followed was quiet. From the very beginning, this training was designed not just to toughen the body, but to reshape the soul of the soldier. It included 3 officers pursuing the elite status of certified commando instructors, 14 NCOs training to become commando trainers, and an overwhelming 104 rank-and-file soldiers preparing to serve as assistant instructors in combat situations. Their objective wasn't just academic, it was existential. Their mission? Reclaim the land, defend the people, secure the state. The commando training unfolded in 2 brutal, deliberate phases. The first phase, lasting 3 weeks, pushed these soldiers far beyond their limits. It was meant to cultivate controlled aggression, build mental and physical endurance, and root out any hesitation in the face of fear or hardship. But more than that, it forged adaptability. When the terrain is hostile, when the situation is unpredictable, when communication breaks down, these are the moments when a soldier's spirit must be unshakable. This stage honed the autonomy, improvisation, and cohesion essential to small unit tactics under extreme pressure. They were trained to operate in total isolation, without landmarks, without support, without guarantees. Their ability to respond to destabilizing situations was not simply taught, it was demanded. These young soldiers endured pain, hunger, exhaustion, and cold. They were stripped of comfort and certainty until only discipline, brotherhood, and purpose remained. But this phase wasn't just about pushing limits, it was a deep reminder of humility. Many of the officers undergoing this training had once been instructors themselves. Now, they had to walk in the boots of the very students they would soon be training. That humility created something rare in military pedagogy: respect rooted in shared hardship. Because when an officer sweats, bleeds, and breaks alongside his men, his orders carry a different kind of weight. They command not just authority, but trust. The second phase of the program focused on instruction, transforming these hardened soldiers into leaders and teachers. This wasn't just about how to fight. It was about how to pass on the flame, how to inspire, educate, and prepare the next generation of warriors. Trainees were evaluated not only on their physical prowess or knowledge of tactics, but on their ability to structure, deliver, and assess effective military instruction. They mapped out training routes. They demonstrated techniques for obstacle navigation. They broke down lesson planning into specific objectives, ensuring that every session in the field had a mission, a goal, and a measurable impact. What makes this development even more significant is its alignment with the broader vision of the Burkina Faso military. The country is not simply reacting to threats, it is reorganizing, restructuring, and revitalizing its entire defense doctrine. Under the leadership of the Army Chief of Staff, Burkina Faso has recognized that winning the war for national sovereignty means investing not just in weapons, but in warriors. And warriors are made, not born. The idea is clear. By expanding the pool of qualified instructors, the Army ensures that more units across the country can be trained rapidly and effectively. Every one of these 121 commandos is a multiplier of power. They don't just fight, they teach others to fight. They bring with them the doctrine, the discipline, and the mindset of the new Burkina Faso soldier, bold, unyielding, and deeply committed to the defense of the nation. Now let's pause for a moment and say something very important. To all the members and subscribers of Voice of Africa, thank you. Your support allows us to keep telling these powerful stories that the world too often overlooks. While others focus only on crisis, we focus on courage. While they see chaos, we see rising resolve. You help us amplify African victories, African resilience, and African transformation. And for that, we are profoundly grateful. Now back to the story. The final test of the training wasn't in a classroom or a lecture hall. It began with a punishing 75-kilometer march, an ordeal that alone could have broken weaker men. And just when exhaustion began to set in, a 10-kilometer endurance trial followed. For many, that was the moment of realization. Nothing would ever be the same again. Through the 6 weeks that followed, the commandos were thrown into realistic combat scenarios. They faced missions simulating insurgent attacks, reconnaissance operations, and tactical extraction. They had to move silently, think critically, fight decisively, all while navigating some of the most physically and psychologically demanding obstacle courses in West Africa. Each day was defined by adrenaline and precision. They trained on multiple specialized tracks: the blue course, the yellow course, the red course, and the infamous Jolor track. Each one tested not only physical strength, but coordination, adaptability, and team cohesion. These weren't just exercises, they were rehearsals for war. And war, unfortunately, is no longer theoretical for Burkina Faso. The country is engaged in a fierce battle against extremist groups that threaten its sovereignty and the safety of its people. The state's response is no longer limited to defensive posture. These new commandos are part of a wider strategy of territorial reconquest. Their mission is clear: take back the land, community by community, village by village. And as one of the trainees put it so powerfully, we are now equipped to carry out our mission. We reaffirm our commitment and readiness to support the defense of the territorial integrity of our nation. It is this statement that perhaps best captures what these 121 men now represent. They are not simply commandos. They are the front line of Burkina Faso's hope. They are trained, committed, and willing to give everything, not just for their comrades, not just for their officers, but for the ordinary Burkina Faso citizens they have sworn to protect. What Burkina Faso is doing is extraordinary. In the face of global indifference, economic hardship, and mounting security challenges, it is investing in human capacity. It is not outsourcing its survival to foreign powers. It is building its own defense from within, one disciplined soldier at a time. And this approach, if sustained and supported, could become a model for other African nations. Africa doesn't lack courage. It doesn't lack leadership. What it has often lacked is the space and sovereignty to shape its own security agenda. Burkina Faso is boldly claiming that space, and these commandos are part of that revolution. As we close this update, let us remember that stories like this don't make the headlines in Western media. But they are the stories that matter most. They are stories of rebirth, of dignity, of people who refuse to bow, even when the odds are stacked against them. To our growing Voice of Africa community, this is why we exist: to shine a light on stories that matter, to counter the noise with truth, to celebrate the real heroes of the continent, not just the famous, but the fearless. And as long as you stand with us, we'll keep bringing you more. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, if it inspired you, share it. Let the world know that Africa is not silent. Africa is not broken. Africa is rising, and so are her sons and daughters, ready for battle, ready for peace, and ready to build a future on their own terms. Stay strong, stay proud, stay tuned to Voice of Africa.